Hello, hi guys, welcome back to my the YouTube channel for MDE tutorial, Microsoft Defender for Endpoint. And today's topic is attack surface reduction rule with the deep dive, to understand the what is ASR, what are the prerequisites, and the other things. So this ASR rule is a really big topic in a Defender. So to make you understand easily, I have created a certain slides where I try to cover up the many things in that. So let's move it to the slides and we'll understand what is the ASR. So in terms of the content, what are the topics going to be covered up in this video? That is what is the ASR, attack surface reduction, the requirements, the dependencies, their deployment methods, and the before deployment mode, which mode we can use it before going to be a deployment. ASR rule deployment steps, what are the steps we're gonna use to create the ASR rules or the deployment. So let's first try to understand what is the ASR, attack surface reduction. So attack surface reduction is the area where company impacted with the cyber threats or the attack. So ASR, attack surface, is the area like if the some attackers attacking your company, that will be in a specific area. So that attack surface is the area where the company impacted somewhere, any attack happened and your the company impacted with the threats, attacks, or the cyber threats. So that area called like a attack surface area. So defender endpoint capable to reduce your surface, attack surface area. So this Microsoft Defender for Endpoint will help you to reduce that area, or it will cover up that area, or to resolve that threats where the attack has happened. Now, reducing your attack surface means is protecting your the organization, devices, networks, which leaves the attacker with the fewer way to the perform attacks. So it will be this defender will be helping to reduce your the attack surface area, that is protecting to your organization in terms of your devices or your the networks. Now, attack surface reduction rule will help you to prevent actions that like a malware often abuse the compromised device and the networks. So now let's see the requirement for the Microsoft Defender as a primary AV real-time protection on. So first thing, you should have the Microsoft Defender for Endpoint there as a primary AV. If there is a two antivirus working on your machine, then your the Microsoft Defender should be on a primary in a active mode, and the real-time protection should be on. Second thing is a cloud delivery protection on the same rule is required. And here is a little explanation about the Windows version. For the more detail, you can go to the Microsoft site and you can quickly check, because this will change every year or the frequently whenever the new release launch for this Defender. So Windows 10 minimum version 1709, and the servers minimum version is 2012 are to be required. In that we need a license minimum E3 or the E5. So ASR rule don't require actually the E5 license. It's not a must that you go with the E5 license. It can work, but if you go with the E5 license, you will get the more capabilities to work with the ASR rule. So the capabilities including like monitoring, analytics, workflows on the Defender endpoint, and as well the reporting and the configuration capabilities in the Microsoft 365 Defender portal. So these advantage capability are not available with with the E3 license. So as I told, if you are using the E5 license, it will be more capable to use your the monitoring, analytics, workflows with the E5 license. But in the E3 license, you can't able to use this settings. Now let's see the dependencies. What are the dependencies are there? So Microsoft Defender must be enabled as configured as a primary antivirus solution and must be the following the mode. So it should be in a primary antivirus and the anti-malware solutions. It status should be in a active mode, and the Defender antivirus should not in the any of the following mode. So it should not be in a passive mode, and the passive mode with the detection EDR in a block mode. So if you having the passive mode and the EDR in a block mode, then also it's not going to work. If your antivirus in a passive mode, then also it's not going to work. Or the limited periodic scanning LPS, or the antivirus is in off mode, then also it's not going to work. So cloud protection maps must be enabled to enable the ESR rule. So you should have the maps, cloud protection should be enabled on that machine. Microsoft Defender antivirus component must be with the current version for the ASR rule. So you should have the current version for the antivirus. Now, ASR rule deployment methods, how we can deploy this ASR rule. So that is with the Microsoft Defender, Microsoft Intune, where the Intune policy you can create it, or that's called the MEM console as well. You can use the mobile device management. You can use the MECM, Microsoft Endpoint Configuration Manager. You can use the group policy. You can use the PowerShell. So there are the multiple ways which I showed you here. You can use any of the way to create the ASR rule and deploy to your the end user device. But in this video, we are going to learn about the Microsoft Intune MEM console, how you can deploy your ASR rule via the Intune. So that's what our agenda in this video. Now, before the deployment, what it said. So we have two modes here, like a audit mode for evolution, and the second is war mode for the user. So let's understand what is the audit mode. So use the audit mode to evaluate how attack surface reduction rule would affect your the organization if enabled. So it will give you the visualization if you enable this ASR rule, then how it will be react. So it will give you the result before deploying it in the audit mode. So run all the rules in the audit mode first, so you can understand how they affect your the line of business applications. So you can deploy the ASR rule without reducing the productivity. So this is the best recommendation if you're planning to ASR rule implement in your infra. So better go first with the audit mode, analyze your infra, get the report, and see your the applications, is it getting blocked or not, or how it is reacting, and if any exclusion is required inside that, so you can put the exclusions. And once you are good with the audit mode, then you can go with the actual real-time protection, like to block your the based on the features you can block that feature. Now the warm mode for the users. So whenever content is blocked by the ASR rule, the user see a dialog box indicate that content is blocked. So what is the warn mode for the users? When any of content, any of the exe is getting blocked, any file is getting blocked by the ASR rule, so user can see a dialog box that's content is blocked. The content box also offer the user and the opinion to unblock the content. If you are using the warm mode, then user will be allowed to unblock the content, and the user can retry their the actions, and the operation completes. When a user unblock content, the content remain unblocked for the next 24 hours, and then again it will be resumed to block it. So warm mode basically to providing the additional access to the user, so user can unblock that exe, but that will be effect only for the 24 hours, and then it will be again block your the file. Now let's understand the ASR rule deployment. So ASR, how you can deploy the ASR rule. So first thing is ASR rule requirement. You can gather your the requirements and plan for the ASR rule deployment, test your ASR rule, and then configure and enable the ASR rule and attack surface detection the best practices, and then finally go with the ASR rule advanced hunting and the event viewer. So basically this is something the high level ideas how you can plan your deployment. So first thing, gather your the requirement what you are planning to do inside the ASR, and then test your the ASR rule with the audit mode, and later on you can configure your the ASR rule, then check what are the best practices we can do based on your the reporting, and once you implement on the production, then you can go with the advanced hunting and the event viewer logs. So now here is a deployment rule deployment. It's steps like first you can plan, then you can test it, then you can enable the ASR rule, and then the operationalized. So here is this screenshot taken from the Microsoft side, how the Microsoft has recommended. So based on that, you can plan your, but what I can suggest in my experience, first you plan what you're going to do it, then create a policy that all should be in an audit mode, then analyze your reporting, analyze or collect the data from the ASR reporting, advanced hunting, and see what are the exclusions you can put it to securely deploy your ASR, so it should not block any usable applications. And finally, once you've done all these work around, then convert into that policy to actual blocking mode. Now, let's go with the plan for the ASR deployment, how you can do that. So, identify the business unit, then identify the ASR rule champions, inventory line business apps, define the ASR rule reporting and the response terms, and then determine the deployment rings. So, what is the overall output come for these study and the deployment rules? So best thing is first you plan, you think out what you're gonna do it, or what are the things is required in the ASR rule. Then create a policy. That entire policy should be on an audit mode, and then once you collected all the reports, you analyze what are the application getting blocked. Is it like a usable application, or your organization related to application? So based on your reporting, keep the exclusions. So ASR rule should not block any of the EXEs, unwanted EXEs, or the usable EXEs, and then convert into your the actual ASR rule. Let's go the how you can test it. So test ASR rule with the audit mode first, as I'm showing it's a long back. First create your rule with the audit mode, then learn about the ASR rule reporting. So you collect the reporting from the audit mode, and then access impact using the ASR rule reporting. Just analyze the data and see what are the exclusions is must is required, or what traffic which is the unwanted traffic which you can block it, and then create the exclusions for the false and positive results. Then transition. So once you've done your the auditing, your all the auditing reports, and you finalize okay all these files are genuine which is getting blocked, that you can plan for the exclusion. And once you tested all these ASR rule, then convert into your the actual production, I mean to the block mode. So that's called like a transition ASR rule from audit to the block mode. So set the rule to block mode, review the ASR rule reporting, then the access impact, then create or define the exclusion if it is required, if something is getting blocked which should not be, then revert the problematic rule or the audit on the disable mode. So now here is the reporting like with the advanced hunting, how you can check this. So here I write a query, actually it's taken from the Microsoft site, so you can quickly analyze how your the ASR rule is reacting for that on the machines, how that rule is deployed. So for this part, I'm planning to create a one more video because I can't cover up all these things in the single video. I will be creating a video for the troubleshooting, your the advanced hunting analysis, and your the reporting. How you can deep more into your the ASR rules and how you can safely create it more. Now, so here is something rule grid ID and the rules name. These are the rules name which we are going to create in our the defender or the grid ID. So it's just for the record, no need to memorize all those things. So ASR rule modes, when we set it to not configured or the disabled, what does it mean? The state which is the ASR rule haven't been enabled or the disabled mode, that code should be the 0, or the block mode says the ASR rule is enabled and the code stage is 1. Audit mode says like a state which the ASR rule evaluate the effect, it would have no organization or the environment if enabled, set to the block or the worm, the code is state 2. So audit, if you select the audit mode, then it will give you the report. It won't block any of your applications, but it will give you the report. If you put it in the block mode, then it will block your application. So it's for the auditing purpose. Audit mode is always for the auditing purpose, and it's not going to be impact anything in your infra. So worms, all these thing audit and the worms, I explained it well. Let's go to the practical lab now into the console. So I'm with the MEM console, Microsoft Endpoint Manager. Under the, let's go to the endpoint security, and here we have the ASR rule, attack surface reduction rule. So let's create a test policy and deploy to the test machine, and we'll understand what are the options we can get at inside this create the policy. So let's click on the create policy. Here we have the two options, Windows 10 and letter, Windows 10 and letter with the config mgr. So let's go with this. And now here we have the multiple options. One is the ASR reduction rule, exploit protection, device protection, app and the browse isolation, web protection, application control. So I will be creating a separate video for this exploit protection, device, all these. So today's topic is just for the ASR rule. Let's go and create it. Now let me just copy paste so it will be easier and quick. Now here is the setting which is which we are going to analyze or going to implement in our the ASR rule. So first thing what we learn when we initially creating this policy. So let's go with the your the audit mode and the ASR rule for the exclusions. If you want to put it to the exclusions, you can put it here, but we are under the edit mode, so no need to put it. Let's go for the audit mode, and for the moment just put it with all with the audit mode. Let me just quickly do it. Audit. I will be explaining you all these things. What does it mean? So let's go in the first phase. And here is a control the folder access protected. If you have the if you want to exclude any of the folders, so you can put it here, or the control folder access allowed, you can put it here your to exclude with this ASR rule. Even with the audit mode, we have everywhere like a pre-exclusions. If you want to put it some exclusion, like a block the Adobe reader, creating a child process. If you want to put the exclusions over here, you can put it any of the child process related to the Adobe reader. And why the Microsoft is named here only for the Adobe Reader, that I will give you the explanation. So for the moment, let's go and create it. Now let's go to the next and include the group here. So I created a group that is called the ASR. So that is here. Let me select this, and now let's go and just create it. So my the entire policy is still under the audit mode only. It's not going to impact anything in my the organization. It's just for the auditing, and from this auditing we'll collect some data based on our the output. Then we'll take actions. So for this, let's go to the once we deployed this, it's going to take some time to implement on the test machine. I have here the test machine as well. So let's run the policy here. Let me quickly do it. Let's go here. Let's go here quickly. Okay, so let's do the sync for this device. So now this device will get the ASR policy, and it will start the auditing for your infra. And based on our the auditing, will modify our the policy, same policy as I showed you. Once you are in the audit mode, then you can move it to the your actual block mode. So let's run it. I can show you meanwhile how you can track with your the console. So here will be a complete report for your like a ASR or any of incidents, any of other things are blocked. So now let's go to the advanced hunting. Here it is. Yeah, and here as I shows in my the PPT. So if you go to this query, so you can just type it that query and just collect the ASR rule. So not to waste the lot of time to show you over here, and let me show you something else over here. So you can write that your query, new query, and you can pull that report. Now I want to show you something in this console where you can pull the your ASR report. So just go to the reports reports. Under reports, if you go and search the ASR, attack surface rule detection. So here you can see in the ASR reports how many things are getting blocked or allowed or related to your the ASR policy. So here nothing is there because still it's not run the policy, or there is might be nothing is getting because I am under my the test lab, but I can show you how you can track that report. So you can go to the under the reports and the reports, and then go to the attack surface rule here. So you can get the your the block or audited mode report. So here you can see it's the two option is coming, audited or the block. So when you apply your policy under the audit mode, then it will show you the count, how many files are audited or on the with the date. Let's go to again back to that policy what we created, and once we finalize these many exceptions should be applied on this machine, and then you come up with your plan what should be blocked or what should be allowed. Then you can go again back to the policy and change it your mode, audit mode, to the block mode. Okay, we are under the policy, and here once you've done your all the reporting, your analysis, then you can go and just select the block. if inside this you need to put some exclusion for this Adobe, or you feel like this audit mode is showing something wrong, and it asking to block this exe or unwanted to block, or it's a false and positive, so it comes under the false and positive category, then you can put it here, you're the exclusions. So exclusions option is available over here, and wherever it needed, you can go to the block and put the exclusions here. So you're the that particular exclusion not going to take any action by the ASR rule. So let's try to understand what does it mean. There are a lot of meanings that's mentioned here, like block the exclusion consents, email, and all. So if I'm explaining the one by one, then it's a really big video. So, but I will explain you the few things. Block Adobe Reader and the creating child process. So, what it does do? Because the many of the attackers targeted to the Acrobat Adobe Reader, and they are trying to attack your infra. They are injecting their threads and running via the Adobe Reader. So if you need some more details, what I have over here, I have this thing in my place. Yeah, it's a Microsoft document here, and we can read it the val for the every policies how it work. So block the Adobe Reader creating a child process. If I'm blocking, then what will happen? So malware can download and the launch payload to break out the Adobe Reader through the social engineering or the exploit. By blocking the child process from being the generated the Adobe Reader. So that's the functionality, meaning if you put it on the block, but if you know the exact path or the execution file which is the genuine, so you can go and put it under the exclusion over here. And the similar way, the another thing is a block the process creation the organization from pxe and the wmi command. Anyway, it should not be the block mode, let it be on the audit mode. If not, your the ps access or the wmi command gonna blocked it. So just put it under the audit mode. Block execution of the potential obfuscated the script. So what does it mean? If we don't understand, then you can go here and just understand the meaning over here. So once you've done all these things, then just put it to your block or the audit mode, like a block the Win32 app call of the Office macros, put it in the block mode. Block the Office application creating the executable process. It's for your the Outlook. If you getting any of the email data, like any of the threads over the email, so it can the blocked there, so it cannot execute the any extra exes. Block the credential from the windows local authority the subsystem. So let's go for this the audit mode and put some the exclusions if you want, or what you can do, just go for the block mode and put it the exclusions. Now, all these settings you can go through the Microsoft link, and based on that, your the requirement, you can set it your the policy. And once you've done it, then finally you can save and the review here. So, in that way, safely you can implement your the ASR rule in the production. So guys, in my the next video, I will be showing you something more deep dive about the ASR, because if I covered up all those things in this video, that will be the very lengthy. So thank you guys for watching this video. See you soon in my next video.